Hi there and welcome to this video. In this video, we will explore how we can bulk create data using DBIx. Let's get started. So let's say, for example, we want to create extra users in bulk. So in the previous video, we saw how we can create users one by one through methods such as create. Now, what if we want to insert many records at the same time? So what we can do, as before, is we can say schema result, so result set, and in this case user. And what we can call on this user result set is a method called Populate. And what you provide to the Populate is arrayref. Now the first value in the arrayref is going to be another arrayref. And in this arrayref, what we want to provide are the column names. So for example, if we want to create users, we would potentially want to provide username and type as the columns for which we want to insert the data. So we can say username and type. Now every single value that's going to follow after the first arrayref is going to be arrayrefs of the actual data you want to insert. So for example, I could say I want to insert new user 5 with a type of client. And after that, we can just copy this, let's say 2 more times, and say we want a new user 6 and new user 7. And for this user, which is new user 6, I'm going to say that the type is admin. And let's add semicolon at the end and save this. Now, before we proceed, I would like to know that there's a caveat here. Populate method runs in 2 contexts, so the return values matter. If you provide context such as an array, for example, we would like to store the results returned into results, so equals the schema populate, then the populate method will return instances of result items for the created data. Behind the scenes, the populate method will create result instances and call insert on these objects. This in turn will trigger any augmentation methods on your result classes that could potentially modify the data being inserted. So if you have custom logic on your result classes, this logic will be invoked and data will be stored with modifications as specified. Of course, this will be slower since result instances must be constructed and any additional trigger on your result classes must be ran. However, if you do not supply return context, then the populate method will skip any result modifications and will insert the data as provided on your populate method. This of course will be faster to execute, but can potentially cause unintended behavior. We will look at result modifications and how we can augment the inserted and retrieved data when populating result instances later on. But for now, just keep in mind that there are subtle differences with how you call the populate method. Now in our case, we are assigning the results to the results array. So let's say we also want to print out for any current context the username for all the results that we stored in our results array. If we save this and then we run the script with, well, let's add dbig underscore trace equals 1, Perl, include our libraries, and then let's run the script. Here we can see that behind the scenes, it's constructing multiple insert statements in a transaction and in the end committing them. So this is what we're debugging, and then we're printing out all the usernames. If we refresh the PHP myadmin, we're going to see that now our users are inserted as expected. Now again, you can do the same with not supplying the context. So if you just remove this and let's comment out the say, and of course we want to change the username because this is unique. So let's say this is 8, so 9 and 10. If we save this, rerun the script, what we printed out is now slightly different. So now the data was inserted in bulk and it didn't trigger the insert methods on each of the results as we saw before. Because as I said, if we are expecting return value from the populate method, it's going to construct all the result instances and it's going to run insert on them one by one. So we end up with 3 SQL statements. Now, if we don't expect return value from the populate method, then it's going to insert items in bulk. And again, it's not constructing result instances and it's not triggering the potential methods. So if you have any data modifications on your result instances, they would be skipped. Again, you just have to keep it in mind. And as I said, we will look into this later on. Alright, that's it for this video. We looked at how we can insert data in bulk and what are the slight differences when calling populate method and expecting either return context or if you're running populate method without any return context. I hope you found this video useful and I'll see you at the next one.